just started the recording as well. Okay. Yeah. So in this particular VAPT course, right? So we are going to learn how to find out the vulnerabilities, and after finding the vulnerability, what we are going to do. And the purpose of doing this particular penetration testing is, once after releasing your application into the public domain, there could be a chance of having the uh, taking the advantage of your application vulnerabilities as well. Okay, so hackers can take the advantage from your application if they find any vulnerabilities. Okay, so that is the intention of doing this particular penetration testing, or you can call as a security testing as well. And also we can call as a ethical hacking, because we are doing ethically. Okay, in organizations will hire us so to perform this particular penetration testing. Okay, so 1 second, so just let me try to put. Okay, so organizations will hire us to do this particular penetration testing at the same time. So this is how we are going to get the applications, okay? Or they will be providing us this kind of URLs to perform the penetration testing or security testing. Okay, so we need to find out the vulnerabilities. What is vulnerability? Vulnerability is nothing but a loophole. Okay, so we are going to find out a loophole from this particular given application. Okay, so that is our job. Okay, after finding the loophole, we need to report this particular loophole, and we need to make this particular loophole to be fixed. Okay, so that is the job. We don't need to write any code. Okay, so we will just suggest the development team to find we will suggest the development team to how to fix this particular vulnerability. Okay, so we will learn all those particular things. So example, if we get this particular application, so in order to log in into this particular application, what are the prerequisites? So to log in into any of the application, so we need to have the user, and that particular user has to be registered into this particular application. Okay, so then only this particular user is allowed to log in into this particular application. But whereas hackers, right, so they will try to do in a different ways. Okay, so even though you do not have the user ID and password, okay, so you'll try to log in into this particular application to do some damage. Okay, so what kind of damage and all we will try to understand. First we'll try to log in into this particular system by providing this particular payload. Okay, so what is payload? Can someone try to tell me? I know, like, you people are very new to this particular security
Payload
testing.
is the virus. It's called virus.
Virus, we can also yeah, that is also one of the good term we can say, but it is a unethical code we can say, or malicious code we can say. Okay, so instead of providing here username and password, we are providing some payload. That is nothing but a unethical code here. Okay, so even after providing this particular unethical code or payload, okay, so you can go on mute. Like, if you have any question, you can unmute. Yeah, thank you. So after providing this particular unethical code, or in security testing we will call as a payload. Okay, so we'll see what happens. So here this particular user is logged in. Okay, so actually what it has to behave like, whenever you provide some invalid details, or whenever you try to provide some unethical code, okay, it has to say that there is no password and user ID which are registered into this particular system. But what happening here, so I'm just supposed to enter my actual credentials here, and here when I provide proper username and password, it has to allow me to log in. But what happening here, even without providing proper username and password, if you provide the unethical code, or we can say as a payload, okay, so this is allowing me to log in. Okay, so this is one of the loophole we can say. Okay, so there are different types of loopholes we can identify and we can learn in this particular course. Okay, so this is one of the login bypass uh, vulnerability we can say. Without having user ID and password, you can try to log in into any of the application if it is vulnerable. Okay, so you can take some other examples as well. Okay, so you can take this particular site called Amazon. Okay, so we are not going to do any damage, or we are not going to hack anything, but I'll just try to tell you what are the things you are going to look into from our side as a penetration tester. Okay, so for example, if this particular product price is 22,490, okay, so I can make, if it is vulnerable, right, so I can make this particular product price to 220. Okay, any like you can try to make this particular price to high, or you can try to decrease this particular price as well. Okay, so what happens in penetration testing is, like this we have did this from our client side, okay, not from the server side. Okay, so if it is accepting at the server side, then it will become a huge loss to this particular application. Okay, so but it is allowing from the client side. Okay, so as a pen tester we need to check from the server side as well. Okay, so this kind of vulnerabilities we will try to check in our day-to-day penetration testing activities. Okay, so this is one of the example I could say, and we have some more examples as well. Okay, so here I try to simply insert one small script. Okay, so I'll let you know what is the script and all. I'll just try to paste it here. Okay, so this is just the thing which I've written. Okay, so the site is temporarily down. Please click on the below link to continue. Okay, and I just given the script here. Okay, so just I've written one small script, open tag and close tag, and I'm just trying to insert here. Okay, so whenever I try to insert here, right, so it is saying that this particular site is uh, temporarily down. Okay, or you can also put here as a your site has been hacked. Okay, so you can put anything. Okay, why we are getting all these vulnerabilities? Can someone try to guess why we are getting these vulnerabilities in our sites? The only thing is development team, they have not developed this particular sites properly. Okay, so that is the reason we are getting this kind of vulnerabilities in place of this particular thing, right? So you can try to put anything, you are hacked or your site has been hacked. Okay, so you can put everything actually here. Okay, so this is one more vulnerability we can say. And there are different types of vulnerabilities where I think you would have heard in a day-to-day life, right? Like if you click on any of the link, right, so your amount will be automatically deducted. Okay, so those kind of vulnerabilities also we have here in VAPT course. Okay, so that vulnerability is called as CSRF and clickjacking vulnerability. Okay, so it needs some time to make you understand and explain. Okay, so we will learn all those particular things. Okay, for now these are the different types of vulnerabilities where you can try to find in the given application. Okay, so it could be any application, not only this particular demo site application. You can try to find in any of the application. Okay, so there could be little there are like many more vulnerabilities which are so much interesting. Okay, so example, one more vulnerability I'll try to tell you. Okay, so this is the user, right? So now what I can do is, so I can use the help of tool as well. Okay, so I'll tell you what is the help of tool and all. To this particular user, right? So whenever I have opened this particular site, there is a thing called session ID. Okay, so with this particular session ID only, our server will identify us. Okay, so whenever you provide user ID and password, right, so it will allocate a proper session ID, valid session ID after authenticating. Okay, so before authenticating and after authenticating, if you find the same session ID, right, so I can try to simply send this particular link to my victim. Okay, so if victim clicks on it, and if victim enters user ID and password, right, so those particular session will get automatically to me. Okay, so this is one of the another vulnerability I could say in as a one of the interesting vulnerability in this particular pen testing. Okay, so with the help of tool we can do all these particular things. Okay, so how are we going to learn this particular pen testing courses? By using two ways: manual security assessment. Okay, I'll be focusing more on manual security assessment as I have good number of years of experience in this particular penetration testing. Okay, so manual security assessment and automated security assessment as well. What is automated security assessment? Can someone try to tell me? What so manual security assessment, understood, right? So after finding any vulnerabilities in the given site, okay, so we are going to report this particular vulnerabilities. Okay, so how are we going to report and all? I can try to show you. Okay, so we'll see that one in some time. Okay, so but here in this particular course we are going to learn this particular pen testing in manual security assessment approach and automated security approach as well. Okay, what is the use of this particular automated security approach? Okay, so we need to know this one. So as I told, our job is like this. Okay, so they will provide us the URL, okay, to perform the pen testing, and after finding the URL, after getting the URL, okay, so they will be giving us the different details, okay, to get into this particular application. Okay, our job is to find out the different types of vulnerabilities. Okay, so as we know this one, we have already discussed all these things. Okay, so after getting into this application as well, okay, so example, we can see one more example as well, like how can we find out the vulnerabilities. Okay, so we have this particular user. Okay, this user is admin. You can take the other user as well. Okay, so this person is a normal user, and if you click on this particular user account details, right, so it will show you what transactions he has made. Okay, all the details, sensitive information of this particular user. Okay, how does this particular penetration testing, what we will do is, so not only the examples which I've shown you. Okay, so this is one more example. So if I put this particular 800002223, okay, okay, so it is showing the balance and it is showing all the details. Okay, so this is also one of the vulnerability. So if you are using any of the online banking site, and if you get the other users information, what happens? So it will be a like a reputation loss, and it will be a business loss to this particular application owners as well, right? So with this particular penetration testing, what hackers can achieve is they can try to do the, okay, so I'll just try to get the content. Attacker's intention is to do the financial loss. Okay, so if you get this particular error in your application whenever you have opened this particular page, okay, so if this is the pop-up whenever you have opened this particular page, will you use this particular application? We don't use, right? So because this particular application is hacked, okay, if you click on any link, it will be stealing your data. Okay, so whenever you find any vulnerability in the given application or loophole in any given application, right, so no one will use that particular application. Okay, so that's why we are here as ethical hackers, to find out the vulnerabilities before releasing our product or before releasing our application to the public domain. Okay, so that is the importance of security testing, or we can say penetration testing. Okay, so with this, whenever we find some vulnerabilities, right, so whenever attackers or hackers find vulnerabilities, they can do the financial loss to the application, they can do the business loss, they can steal the data, and they can do the reputation loss as well. Okay, with attackers mindset, we need to think and we need to find out the vulnerabilities in the given application. Okay, so we are going to learn this particular application pen testing by manual security approach and automated security approach. Manual security approach is the same thing. Okay, so we have the rules called as, okay, so in order to find, or on what basis we are going to find out this particular vulnerabilities, we need to know, right? So like for any penetration tester or any ethical hacker, if you are working on in any of the organizations, right, so you need to know like on which basis you are going to find particular course. Okay, OWASP top 10 rules. Okay, so okay, so this particular OWSP top 10 rules, who will release this? Like we need to know, right? So who will release this particular OWSP top 10 rules, and why do we find this particular vulnerabilities? We got to know, right? Because whenever attacker finds any vulnerabilities in your application, right, so it will cost so much to the application owner. Okay, so we got to know why we are doing this particular pen testing. Okay, but on which basis we are going to do this particular penetration testing is by following this particular OWASP top 10 rules. Okay, so it will be very new to you people. Okay, however, in the demo we are discussing, right? So just try to do some research. Otherwise, in everyday classes, I'll explain each and every concept, and we'll try to understand from the scratch, from web application, how to understand web application client server model, to how to report the identified vulnerability and all. I'll make you learn. Okay, so in this particular top 10 vulnerabilities, who will release this, like this particular top 10 vulnerabilities on any application. Okay, so this application is considered to be safe whenever you do not find this particular top 10 vulnerabilities as per industry standards. Okay, as per industry standards, example, if you take amazon.com, okay, so if you don't find this particular top 10 vulnerabilities, then it is called as one of the secure application. Okay, so that is the meaning, or that is the intention of providing this particular top 10 rules. Okay, so who will release this particular top 10 rules is like the top hackers and top security researchers and developers. They will release this particular top 10 vulnerabilities into the market, okay, for every 3 to 4 years. Okay, so if you learn, our intention of this particular course is to learn this particular OWSP top 10 rules. Okay, 2017, 2021, and I'll also make you learn 2013 rules as well. Okay, so after getting application, we are going to find out the loopholes, okay, or we can say defect or bug, we can say in testing terms, but in penetration testing term, it is called as a loophole, is called as a vulnerability. Okay, so that is what we are going to do in this particular pen testing. That is nothing but a vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. Okay, I'll make you understand what is this particular penetration testing and all in the next class. Okay, for now we are going to learn this particular vulnerability assessment and penetration testing on web applications and APIs. API is nothing but it doesn't have the UI. Okay, so if you open this particular application, right, so you'll be able to see the user interface, right? For API, you will not be able to find the for API, you will not be able to find this particular user interface, and you will be having only request and response. Okay, so I'll try to show you that one, okay, in the upcoming classes. But however, we are going to learn this particular pen testing on manual security assessment, which I've showed you some of the examples. Okay, so there will be much more interesting vulnerabilities. Okay, so the thing is, you do not need to have any coding knowledge, but you just need to have the research mentality. Okay, you need to find out the vulnerabilities from this particular application. Okay, so in order to do that, you need to have a good research mentality, so that however, I'll make you learn all these vulnerabilities. Okay, so after joining into the organization also, after by taking this particular rules, okay, so I'll provide you the excel sheet as well for all these particular vulnerabilities. Okay, so you can cross check each and every vulnerability, and you can find out the vulnerabilities. Okay, so this is how we are going to learn. And in this particular automation pen testing, right, so we will just simply, so this is one of the easy course actually. So most of the people doesn't know about this particular course. So like this, as I told, like there will be the development team or testing team will provide us this particular URL to find out the vulnerabilities. Okay, so not only doing the manual security assessment by finding each and every vulnerability by our own. Okay, so we will rely on this particular tool as well. Okay, so we will use this particular tool, and we will perform the scan as well from here. Okay, so whenever you perform scan, right, so it will give you the results as well, report as well. Okay, so our job is to eliminate the false positive. Okay, so I'll let you know what is false positive and what are the different types of terms we will use here. Okay, attacker, victim. Okay, so there will be different kinds of terms here. Okay, so this is one of the other approach. It is called as a automated security assessment. Even if you miss some vulnerabilities from here, right, so in manual pen testing approach, you can find the vulnerabilities by using tool as well directly. Okay, so you can simply use these particular tools. Okay, so I'll tell you some of the tools as well. Okay, so in automated security assessment, our main target is we are going to learn this particular pen testing on burp suit and zap. Okay, so these are the famous tools. And also I'll make you learn the Kali Linux as well. Okay, we'll try to solve lab by using this particular Kali Linux, and we will use Postman for API. Okay, so we'll again integrate this particular Postman with burp suit only. Okay, so this is the tool actually. Okay, so here it will get the browser automatically. So whatever you will do, it will record. Okay, so this is the another tool which is called as a zap tool. It is loading, so let it load. I'll try to tell you what it will do. Okay, so with this particular tools, right, so if you miss any vulnerability, you can simply find out those particular vulnerabilities. Okay, so it will do scanning and it will get you the vulnerabilities. Okay, so that is one of the easiest approach we can say. Okay, so in our day-to-day classes, right, so we will, after finding every vulnerability of every topic, right, so we will be discussing about description of every vulnerability. Okay, impact of every vulnerability, what happens after finding that particular vulnerability, and mitigation is nothing but recommended solution. Okay, so to do all these particular things, we do not need to write anything. Okay, so tool itself will give the description, impact and mitigation. Okay, so only thing is you need to prepare the report. Okay, so I'll also try to show you the sample report. Okay, so I'll try to show you in the next class. So actually this is the tool. Okay, so you just need to just open this particular tool and you need to provide your URL. Okay, so whatever the URL which has given for pen testing, right, so you can provide here. Okay, so simply click on attack here. What it will do, it will go to the application and it will go to each and every URL of the application and it will get you the vulnerabilities. Okay, so if it finds vulnerabilities, right, so it will get you here. Okay, so check whether it is a real vulnerability or a tool generated false positive. Okay, so false positive is nothing but a actually not a vulnerability, but tool has assumed that particular vulnerability, the identification identified thing as a vulnerability. Okay, so our job is to check whether it is a vulnerability or not. Okay, so when you are using tool, right, so our main job is to identify which is a vulnerability and which is not a vulnerability. Okay, so I'll make you learn this particular thing as well. Okay, how to do this particular manual assessment as well by using this one. Okay, so we'll be having request and response, and whenever how to identify whether it is a real vulnerability or not. Okay, so we'll learn all these particular things, okay, in our course. So this is the approach. Okay, so we will learn this particular automated approach by using this particular tools, and for every vulnerability we will learn description, impact and recommendation for every vulnerability. Okay, and what are the opportunities in this particular pen testing. Okay, so we need to know, right, so and who are eligible to take this particular course, that also we need to understand, right. So who are eligible, so like whoever having the career gap. Okay, so I'll just try to get that particular content. Okay, so who can choose this particular VAPT as a career is who want to switch their career from one technology to another. Okay, and who has the gap also, career gap. Okay, so you can reach us, how can we do and all, we can discuss about this one. And even freshers also can learn this particular VAPT or pen testing course. Okay, here we will make you learn each and every concept practically. Okay, so in this particular pen testing, and we'll provide you the interview question and answers at the end of the course, and we will also help you in resume preparation as well. Okay, and we have some labs called as sports figure labs, will help you to solve this particular labs as well. Okay, so I'll tell you some of the examples, okay, of this all vulnerabilities by taking this lab. Okay, so we have one lab, this is the lab. Okay, so here we'll be having all the vulnerabilities. Okay, so will try to use this particular lab sessions as well. Okay, so that is the intention. So what is the advantage of choosing this particular VAPT as a career? Advantages. So you do not need to write any code. Okay, so first thing, okay, for most of the people who want to switch their career and who are from testing background or from non-IT background or who are very new to software, okay, so for them there is no headache of learning the code. Okay, so if you already know the code, that will be very good for you. Okay, so but in our course, okay, so you do not need to write any code, but you just need to have basic idea, okay, which I'll make you understand. Okay, and the best thing about this particular VAPT is like you do not need to work on the shifts. Okay, so you will be working in a regular shift basis. Okay, so because we are, our intention and our job is to work with the development team, right? So whenever you find any vulnerabilities in the given application, right? So after finding any vulnerability, so our job is to report to the development team, and we need to fix this particular vulnerability by raising this particular identified vulnerability, right? So that is why you do not need to work on any shifts. Okay, so that is a good advantage we can say, and you'll be finding good number of freelancing jobs as well as a part-time. Okay, so you can try to do all these things, and also you will be having bug bounty platforms as well, where you can try to do as a part-time job as well. Okay, so one caution is from my side or from our institute side, you are not supposed to do this particular penetration testing or scanning of applications on any of the live websites. Okay, so you should never do any pen testing concepts whatever we are going to learn, right? So we should not do on the live sites. Okay, so I'll provide you 4 sites. I have 3 to 4 sites with me. I'll provide you those particular sites, and we have also lab session. Okay, so we will try to do all these particular practical sessions on this particular sites. Okay, because if you try to scan anything, right, so they will easily get to know your IP. Okay, so that is the only thing you need to remember. Okay, so that's it from my end. Okay, so in the next classes, right, so we will be going to understand. Okay, so my intention is to make everyone understand. Okay, so that's why I'll go with very basic concepts. Okay, starting from client server communication. Okay, so understanding the client and server, what are the things available in client. Okay, and what are the things available at the server, and how does this particular client and server interact, and how this particular server will identify client. Okay, all the things we will discuss, or we'll try to understand basic concepts here. Okay, and then we will try to understand what is cache, cookie. Okay, so what are the things available here. Okay, and internet communications. Okay, so all these things we will start with very basics, and then we will move to our OWSP top 10. Once after we get some confidence here, right, so we will move to this particular OWSP top 10 concepts. Okay, any doubts still here? So we will be providing this particular notes every day. Okay, so we have an online link we will provide there. Yeah, so if you have any doubts, you can ask me now.
So what are the different vulnerabilities that we are going to cover here? Like denial of service, social engineering, SQL
Yeah,
injection, and many more.
correct. Yeah, so we are targeting on this particular OWSP top 10 vulnerabilities. Okay, so where in OWSP top 10 vulnerabilities, right? So we will cover all the vulnerabilities, whatever you told, right? Like denial of service. Okay, so DOS attack, DDoS. Okay, so DDoS we will not cover here, but denial of service we can cover, and we can try to check for rate limiting, and we can check SQL injection. Okay, so here we will check that one, and we will focus more on CIA triad, that is nothing but confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Okay, so and apart from this, we will try to focus on cryptographic failures. Cryptographic failures is nothing but whenever we are sharing some data. Okay, so if you are entering user ID and password, right, so it will reach to the server. Okay, so in between, like is there any chance of getting hacked, or is your data really secure or not. Okay, so we'll verify all these particular things in cryptographic failures in denial of service, right? So we'll try to check whether your application is when hacker tries to attack on your application with more number of payloads at a time. Okay, so is your application ready to accept and ready to counter that particular payloads at a time or not? Okay, so we'll discuss that particular concept as well. Yeah, and also SQL injection, we have different types of SQL injection. Okay, so the one which we have seen, right? So without having proper user id and credit password, we try to log in. Okay, so this is called as a boolean SQL injection. Okay, so apart from this particular thing, right, so we have the union based SQL injection, where if you have this particular vulnerability, right, so you can try to completely take over this particular application database. Okay, so you can get the users of this particular application passwords and tables. Okay, all the things we can get. Okay, so we will solve the labs accordingly. Okay, yeah, so did I answer your question, or you have any other thing? Yeah, so this is how we are going to learn. Okay, so in cyber security, right, so you need to have good researching mentality. Okay, so even if you are after completion of our course, right, so even if you get into application, you I might get this vulnerability and you could not get this vulnerability. Okay, it depends on our research. Okay, so however we will learn this every concept, and we need to have good research mentality is what I can tell you. Okay, yeah. Okay, so that's it. We can meet in the next class. So if you have any queries, you can, if you want, even if you want to talk to me for any additional questions also, you can try to reach me. Okay, so I'll just try to provide you the contact number. Okay, so you can reach the provided number. At the same time, we will be having this particular classes from same time. Okay, so from 8 to 9 every day, 8 to 9:15 or 9:30 sometimes it might take. Okay, and based on your questions and all, we will try to take extra time as well sometimes. Okay, so we will try to complete this particular course in we can say 40 days. Okay, so I can take this particular course.
So the total course will be in remote mode only.
Yeah, it will be on remote mode. If you need anything, you can talk to me, or we can discuss on this particular thing. It is basically, ideally it is remote mode only. We will take 25 to 30 classes from Monday to Friday. Okay, so if required, we will connect on Saturdays as well. Okay, so yeah, so
Is there any support to attend the industrial certificate like CEH, CPENT from the EC Council like that?
yeah, we can try to suggest you. Yeah, if you want, you can try to appear, but this is basically for the people who want to join into the organizations directly. Okay, this is not related to social engineering type of attacks. It is completely related to like after when like, so we just wanted to see this one as well. I just missed this one. Okay, so what are the job opportunities we have in this particular area? Okay, so VAPT.
Yes, sir. I have gone through the many pages and researches. Still, they are looking for experienced. Still, they are hiring for only
Exactly.
experienced persons.
Exactly. So most of the companies are hiring for experienced people. It is not precisely for only experienced people. For freshers also, we have lot many openings. Okay, so I think you have researched, but for many of people, I just wanted to show you this one. Okay, so you'll find more number of openings. Okay, so we have good number of openings in or India and in some other countries as well. But the only thing is there is a lack of skillful people. Okay, so that is what our target is also. Okay, so we will try to make or enhance our skills to up to the market, so that we have good number of openings. You can try to see. Okay, so almost 3004 475 openings. Okay, so you can try to search based on your experience. Okay, so this is open to everyone, so you can try to do all these particular things. The only thing is the it doesn't know like in this particular VAPT area, so people doesn't know about this particular VAPT, and they won't find proper persons to make understand about cybersecurity and this particular VAPT. That is the actual thing. Okay, so that's why people doesn't know about this particular VAPT. If they know, right, so the most of the people will come into this particular course at the same time. uh, Nowadays, like, we have good number of openings. That is the only good thing I can say. Okay, yeah. So do you have any other questions apart from this? Like, if you want to contact or if you want to continue, right, so like, we can meet from tomorrow.
Are you covered the mobile and along with API testing? Huh?
No, no, not mobile. Okay, so we will provide you on API pen testing and this particular web application pen testing.
Only webcam API. But
Web and
most
API.
of the most of the people are asking for the mobile VAPT also, right?
Yeah, so if you have experience, right, so yeah, so they will ask you mobile as well. Like, if I have some time, right, so I can tell you, like, what are the tools, and I can take one small example and I can show you. It's based on your interest. Okay, so I can tell you, but not a full-fledged course. Okay, but I can tell you, like, what are the things will be available, what are the tools. Okay, I'll take one sample APK file of Android and I'll try to show you how do we integrate with burpsuit and how do we perform the SAST scan as well. Okay, so we can take one class for you if you want.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so that's it. If you have any more questions, right, so we can reach tomorrow. Okay, so we are going to start this particular course from tomorrow. You can reach to this particular contact which I mentioned here. Okay, so tomorrow we'll be having a class at 8 o'clock, and then we'll be continuing every day. Okay, so our target is to complete from 25 to 30 classes. Okay, yeah, so if you are interested and if you want me to make you learn this particular MAPT also, which is mobile application pen testing, basically that will be taught as a separate course in institutes. Okay, but for you people, I can try to take one or two classes and I can explain you what are the things it will be available and how can you clear the interviews and all. Okay, so I'll give you each and every description. I'll try to show you one previous class notes so that you'll be understanding what are the things actually we will be learning here. One sec. With the description, impact, and for every topic what are we going to learn and all, I'll just try to show you. One second. Okay, so these are the things, like, for every demo class we will explain all these things. Okay, so after this, right, so we will be having the other concepts as well. Okay, so this is one of the completed batch. Okay, so for every from starting onwards, what are the things we will learn? Till here we have completed. From client server architecture, we will try to take one class, and there we will try to understand how client will understand server and how server will understand client and all. We will try to understand with this particular basic concepts, and then we'll try to understand the status codes. Okay, so how client will make a connection to the server, and server how it identifies and how it will establishes a session. Okay, so all these things we'll try to understand, and basically we are doing this particular penetration testing to avoid or to prevent the confidentiality, integrity, and availability vulnerabilities. Okay, so I'll try to explain you here. We will cover this particular data integrity. Okay, so that is nothing but whenever you provide your passwords or credit card details in a plain text, right, so how can we protect and what are the things we need to take care. Okay, we will discuss here, and how can we protect our data confidentially, and if attacker is trying to attack on your system, how can you prevent. Okay, so we can try to discuss here under this particular concept. And for every vulnerability, right, so as I told, Like for every vulnerability, you will be having description, impact, and recommendation. Okay, so all these are basics actually. Okay, so from here we have the actual concept. Okay, so this is what are the different types, and what is the impact. Okay, what is the recommendation. Okay, so how can we prevent this one. Okay, so it will be more interesting thing. The only thing is you need to concentrate, and you need to have the some research kind of mentality. Okay, so what are the prerequisites, what are the things we will be taking from the development team. Okay, so for every vulnerability we will discuss each and every things. Okay, so this is how you are at the end of the course you'll be like this, you will be getting this particular notes as well. Okay, yeah, any questions apart
Hello,
from that?
sir. Hello,
Yeah,
sir.
yes, please
Sir,
come in.
after completing course, can I get certificate?
Certificate, right? Like even though if we provide any certificate, it doesn't value add to your resume, because it is not from the proper cybersecurity EC Council certificate, right? So it doesn't matter to us. Okay, so it is recommended to write the CH certificate. Okay, so if you want to write, or you can I can suggest you how can we write and all. Okay, so we can discuss this one offline. Okay, but CS certificate, even though you do not have CS certificate, we can tell that it has expired. Okay, we can keep it in the resume. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, I'll help you on this particular perspective. No worries about that. Okay, okay, then we can try.
Yes,
We
sir.
can. We can reach tomorrow. We can meet tomorrow at the same time. Thank you.
Hello, sir. I have a question here.
Yes.
So I believe this is only a part of CEH, correct? No, not the complete CEH, Certified Ethical Hacking version 13. It covers only a part of it, correct?
We cannot say that because in CH, right? So in cybersecurity, what happens is we have different types of domains. Okay, one is network pen testing. Okay, where we will deal with IPs. Okay, so if you know the computer architecture or internet architecture, right? So we'll be having the networks. So under network, we will be performing the IP scans. Okay, so in CH, it will also be included. Whereas in this particular VAPT, right? So we will completely focus on this particular OWASP top 10 vulnerabilities. Where in CH certificate also, in CH certification curriculum also, it will not cover entire OWASP top 10. Okay, so it is not completely related to CS certificate, and it is not a, we cannot say that it is not, it is completely a sub part of CS certification as well. It is completely related to the people who want to join into the organizations with respect to this particular application security or penetration testing on web applications and APIs. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Can we
It is
have
completely
a course
then
curriculum,
one.
sir, for this one that we are going to cover?
Course curriculum, I think I've already provided to you people. Okay, if not, Triveni can help you on this particular course curriculum. However, I'll try to get you for you. Okay, so understanding this particular different types of penetration testing types, and client server communication and ports, all the basic things we will cover as part of our basic classes. And then we'll go with OWSP top 10 vulnerabilities of web application as well as API application as well.
Sir,
Okay,
what
so
about the server VAPT? Can we cover that one?
here actually in OWSP top 10 we will cover that one as well. So we will be having the server side request forgery as well. Okay, so we'll cover that one. But as you are saying, right, so completely related to server side, it comes under SOC. We will call that one, that particular course name as a SOC. Okay, so Security Operations Center. So that is not related to our course. Okay, so we are doing complete ethical hacking from our end. Okay, yeah. So any questions apart from this? Okay, yes, yes, Milda. You want to ask anything?
No, sir.
Okay, good. Yeah, we can meet tomorrow. Okay, so this is the course curriculum. Okay, so I think you can see all these things. Okay, so we'll meet tomorrow and we will discuss some more basic concepts, and then we will try to move forward one after the other, and then I'll make you go to the OWSP top 10 of web application, and after completion of web application top 10, we'll move to API top 10 as well. We have a separate lab for that. We will solve that particular lab by using Kali Linux machine, virtual machine. Okay, so the prerequisites is, like, if you want to start the particular pen testing, right? So you need to install this particular Java. Okay, so that is the prerequisite. And apart from this, which I the tools which I already opened, right, like Zap and Burpsuit. Okay, so I'll provide you the links as well for that. So you just need to have the latest version of Java. That is the only prerequisite. And the other prerequisite which I already told you, right? So you need to have a good creative and research kind of thinking. Okay, yeah, that's it. Thank you. We'll meet tomorrow at the same time. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.